Hey guys, Tychondrous here again for another Tychondrous toy review, and this time I got a bit of a special review to do. So this is for two new Star Wars figures. One isn't as new as the other. One is the Inquisitor from the Star Wars Rebels cartoon. They were repacked for the Force Awakens line. A lot of the Star Wars Rebels figures are going to be reissued or repacked in the Star Wars Force Awakens line. So this is the Inquisitor, and the other figure is the new droid PZ-4CO. And let me just bring up the box there. The box has some really nice card art of the droid, and flip it around. You see the Build-A-Weapon pieces. He comes with the top pieces, these two kind of cannon type things, and I'll get into that in a little bit. And there's another Kylo Ren figure. I did see it, and it looked just to be another version of the first Kylo Ren figure with the hood up. And then there's this guy who's called Goss. Was it Goss Towers? Or Goss Tours. I didn't check out the blurb on the back of that guy's box. I did see him. I unfortunately didn't have enough to pick up the entire wave. They also had the General Hux. Is it General Hux? Let me just check. It's on the back of the Inquisitor box. First Order General Hux and the Guavian Enforcer. They also had that figure as well. I really love the design for the Build-A-Weapon from the Inquisitor and General Hux set. It looks kind of almost, if I can just bring it into focus there, it reminds me a lot of a Hunter Killer actually from the Terminator series. It has it looks like a hover droid. It has a very similar look to one of the Hunter Killer vehicles from the Terminator series, and that's how this piece fits onto the Inquisitor. I'll get into it in a second, but it's not the best Build-A-Weapon part for the figures, but it looks really cool for the droid part. Again, I'll just bring this one into focus. That's the one for the PZ-4CO. I'll just read a bit on the back. PZ-4CO is a constant fixture in the Resistance base control rooms, offering tactical data and communication support during important operations. I have heard it say that this guy's supposed to be some sort of personal droid to Princess Leia, or well, to Leia in the film. Whether that's true or not, it's all just speculation. And how the weapon pieces attaches just there on the legs. So those are the boxes aside. Again, just a quick note: the droids box has the Force Awakens subtitle under this big Star Wars logo, whereas the Inquisitor doesn't, because he's not actually in the Force Awakens movie. He's part of the Rebels line reissued. So here he is in all his glory, PZ-4CO. So he has, again, they're all 5 points of articulation. His neck is massive, it's really big, and his head is on a ball joint, so you can actually rotate it all the ways around. The design of him is interesting. He reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. But it's just the head design and the face design reminds me of some other sci-fi series, and I just can't place it. The arms can go all the ways around, not too hindered by the skirt piece or by the leg pieces. Legs can't really go back because they're hindered by the back plate, but they can go forwards, and they go forward individually. I did see a good few of these guys at retail over here, and they're $14.50 roughly euros, so about maybe $19 thereabouts. I was thinking for customization mode, for customizing this guy would be pretty simple. All you'd really need to do is get the old Build-A-Droid parts from some of the other kind of droids that you can pick up, and just maybe swap out the lower arms and the lower legs, and you'd have pretty much the standard articulated Star Wars droids. For the weapon parts, it comes with two of these. We just bring them into focus there. There are two. On the picture, it looks like it's the top of the droid with cannons, and of interest, they actually extend out the little cannon piece and goes back in, and the way they attach the figure is they just have a clip at the side, and they have a area for the leg, so they just clip onto the side of the figure. They don't really click into place or such, but they just fit on the side of the figure. It does have a little bit of trouble standing when they're attached, because you need to make sure you have clearance for the two thruster parts when it's in this mode, I'm assuming, but the gun parts when it's in the kind of combined mode. And onto the Inquisitor quickly, because he's a reissue of the standard Inquisitor figure. I won't delve into him too far, but his legs go backwards, forwards, same 5 points of articulation. Arms can rotate all around. Now the head doesn't really move on mine. I think it's supposed to, because it does look like it's on a swivel, but it doesn't really move. It is on a swivel, but it's very tight in place, so I didn't try to force it or anything, because the last time I got a mission series figure with the 5 points of articulation, it was the Obi-Wan figure, and he was Obi-Wan in Darth Maul 2-pack, and the head just snapped off the Obi-Wan figure when I took him straight out. It does come with his Inquisitor lightsaber. If I can just get it to focus on it. Probably won't, because it's such a small thing. Let me just bring the Inquisitor in. There we go. Blades are extended. It has the two blades out. Normally, I'm not sure if there was a version of the unextended one with the regular Inquisitor release, but this one comes with the extended blades, and that's it. So, and you can hold it in either hand. So let me just get in his hand. There we go. You can hold it in that hand, or he holds it in his left. Should note as well, PZ-4CO doesn't actually come with any accessories. He's just the droid and the two build-a-weapon parts. Build-a-weapon part for this, as I said, is part of that kind of hover drone looking thing. There's the actual piece itself. When it's not combined to the kind of build-a-weapon droid thing, it's supposed to be kind of a shield, similar to what came with the Flame Trooper. And the way it shows it in the diagram for connecting it is it's supposed to connect onto the wrist, but it's very hard to do so. I find the easiest way to do it is there's actually a little peg here and a clip here. The only way I can see putting it into it is putting it into his hand, and even then it's not the best for clipping it in. It just sort of stays on his hand, but it's very loose. It might fit onto other figures better. Let me just see if it works better with the PZ-4CO. Again, it's supposed to clip onto the wrist. It does clip on a little better onto him because the Inquisitor's wrists and arms are so thin. He's a little bit thinner than a standard kind of Star Wars figure. As you can see, his wrists and arms are very thin. So, all in all, I do recommend the Inquisitor figure if you don't have him. I know a lot of people don't like the whole 5 points of articulation. It doesn't, I mean, it does bother me to a certain point, and I know there is plans for Hasbro releasing a exclusive, Walmart exclusive 3¼ inch super articulated line, and I'm assuming we won't get the same coverage of the different characters as we will with the kind of basic 5 points of articulation figures. A lot of the characters will only, I'm assuming most of the core characters will get the super articulated treatment, but not everyone. So guys like the droid here mightn't get it, and like some of the other obscure characters that are getting standard 5 points articulation figures will not probably get those as well. But all in all, I do like the droid figure. As I said, for customizer, he could be a fairly simple, quick customization by just swapping those lower arms and lower leg parts to the standard droid figure kind of, or the builder droid figure parts. And I mean, the torsos themselves are pretty much the same. There's no waist articulation on this guy, whereas there would be on some of the older droids. You could go completely out and just swap the head over and maybe build up the shoulders Again, it's up to people who want to customize them. But as I said, Inquisitor figure is good for the build-a-weapon looking vehicle as well. Actually, if I just bring in the box for Inquisitor, I did kind of rip these open when I got them, but there is a picture of the complete build-a-weapon. As I said, it does kind of remind me of a bit of one of those hunter-killer drones type things from Terminator. And the combined weapon for the PZ-4CO is kind of a, looks like another sort of hover droid type thing, or kind of a mounted gun platform. But again, the one on this one is really cool as well. So I do recommend getting these guys if you can. I know they haven't, this particular wave hasn't really hit the States yet, but I'd say it should be out soon enough. But over here they have seemed to have started bringing out some more other waves. Again, I was in the same store that I bought the Force Awakens Black Series figure, and they only had the one figure, or sorry, not one figure, but the one wave of figures. Again, it was the same wave was still sitting there. Everyone bar Kylo Ren had been picked up, and the Stormtrooper that I picked up previously. So they still had the Chewie, Finn, and the Rey figures just sitting there on the shelf. No one else seemed to be picking them up. But as I said, their price point is fairly hefty for a single figure for the Black Series over here. But enough of my waffling. As I said, this quick review for these two particular figures. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you like, click like. If you want to subscribe, click subscribe. I'll try and keep up to date with doing figure reviews of either more Star Wars or random figures that I have, as I have a huge collection of figures that I can do reviews of. And if you want to comment, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the review, guys.